Hey, it's Matt, your average gamer, and today I want to talk about a different game. On the side a little bit, I've been playing Helldivers 2. I'm about 4 or 5 hours into the game, and I've been having an absolute blast. So I've been playing this game for about 2 nights now, maybe 4 or 5 hours. I'm a little farther than this video now. I think I'm around rank 6 or 7. Nothing too crazy, but so far it has been all good and a great time. As many people will tell you, I'm not a huge PvP type person, and I am not a first person or even third person shooter unless it's a really good kind of squad based teamwork type game, and Helldivers 2 is pretty much perfect at that. I'm on PlayStation 5 by the way, and the graphics look fine. They're pretty good overall, and as far as matches go, I'm able to jump into matches pretty quickly. I know it's a lot better than it was at launch. I can get 4 people, jump in with a random squad, and work towards a goal as teamwork progresses the game. Which is kind of the opposite to a lot of games that are out now that are PvP focused, and since that's not really my forte, this is something I could find myself enjoying. I had a really good time with it so far. Even just 4 or 5 hours in, I could tell this game is really addicting. And for $40, it's an even better deal. For $40, you're getting an online squad-based game that you can probably pour hours into, with AAA games costing around $70 in US dollars. Now $40 is an absolute steal. I actually couldn't believe that for 40 bucks I was getting a solid teamwork type game that has really good gameplay, smooth third-person shooter gameplay, and on top of that, working towards a goal rather than doing the PvP stuff and having a great time in the process. So far the gameplay has pretty much been perfect. There's no complaints. You get on a planet, you get into a match, you join a squad, and you basically go towards these objectives or goals that you have to complete in order to extract, and you fight giant bugs in the process. Or aliens, or whatever you want to call it. They basically look like giant bugs, but you're going to be fighting waves of them, hordes of them, and you're going to have to complete these objectives along the way, several of them in most cases, to gain XP, to level up, and to complete the match. That seems to be most of the game so far, but for $40 in a squad-based fun game, I really can't complain about it at all. I heard good things about Helldivers 2. It had a ton of hype with it. It has a huge player count, and I completely understand why. Because it's one of those games that's just that good. It's just good enough to have that kind of 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 rating that it's getting across the board, because for the price you're paying, the content you're getting, the smooth gameplay, and the fun squad gameplay is awesome. And on PS5 so far, it truly has been great. I heard there was a ton of server issues at launch, which is no surprise because I don't think they expected the game to sell as well as it did, but once it sold as well, they had a hard time with all of the servers, and now everything seems to be normal. By the way, there's also these like firestorm type things that happen on the planets, whatnot, and different events and everything, and then you can kind of get into these tight situations too when the area becomes a little bit hostile, and then you get overrun by a horde that ends up being a really fun time. And this game for me, in a way, it's kind of comparable to Destiny 1 and 2, which really couldn't hold my interest for long because it has the whole bullet sponging thing going on, and this game so far seems to have like none of that, which is perfect for me. And if you're wondering what I mean by bullet sponges, I mean running into bosses in missions where you're just hitting the same, literally the same exact enemy over and over again, and then kind of slowly watching their health bar go down. It doesn't seem like this game has a lot of that. You're on the move and you're fighting tons of different enemies. At least so far. That could change. I'm sure there's going to be different modes and different things as far as the game goes when I go further into the game rather than just being 4 or 5 hours into the game, but so far I like this a lot better. For me, this is a better game than, say, The Division or Destiny, where there's just a lot of that bullet sponging stuff. It's just not really my style of game, and this for me is more my style. It kind of meets like your ADHD, right, where you just have a ton of enemies running at you. It's kind of like a horde mode type thing, objectives going on in the meantime, environmental stuff, and a squad to work with. At the end, you have a mission, you get mission completed, and then you go back to the ship with your squad mates. Sometimes if you're playing with a random squad, you're going to get other people that are going to cycle in and out, but for the most part, if you're staying with the same squad, you could just jump into another mission. So, a few bugs. I did get stuck on a couple things already, 2 or 3 things actually. This is one of the things I got stuck on. I eventually had to crouch, I think, a couple times to get out of it, so there is still a few bugs and stuff going on, but overall the gameplay is quite smooth and not too many complaints. I eventually picked up some other weapons like the marksman rifle and a couple different things and had a lot more fun with that than the base gun that you get. I don't really know what weapons and stuff are best yet. I'm going to find out as I play more as far as the game goes, but so far I do like the marksman's type style of play. It seems to be pretty fun. I edited this little video, by the way, on my phone. I just put a couple clips together to kind of give you my experience of the first 4 or 5 hours of playing Helldivers and whether or not I believed it lived up to the hype, and so far I got to admit this definitely lives up to the hype. So I gotta mention this, when you drop down into a mission, it kind of has the feeling like Apex, but honestly, this is like hyped up even more. When you drop into a mission, it has the most like epic music and everything behind it, and it's just really awesome to start a mission. The simplest way, it makes you feel like right away from the start of the mission, you're doing something extremely important right this moment, and it really does work well. The music, everything, just how it goes on when you start a mission, you'll get the feel for it instantly, and it can hype you up. You can probably tell I love the drop-ins in this game. The drop-ins in this game are absolutely awesome. They're so cool. It's a really good way to start a mission, and then you jump in, you get right into the action in some cases, or if you're just starting a mission, fight some enemies, and again, work together as a squad. First 2 nights so far, no question about it, I've had a really good time with Helldivers 2. I'm going to continue to play the game, and I want to know also, if you're watching this video, if you've picked up or played Helldivers 2 and what you think of it so far. For me, so far, my early impression is this is a 9 out of 10 game. This is a really quality game. I was going to say it was an 8 out of 10. I don't think it's a perfect game, but for $40, this is basically a AAA game you're getting for the price of $40, which is a really good deal. And you know what I'm going to say at the end here. If you're not subbed to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more Helldivers content, for more content for pretty much everything, Elden Ring, all the stuff we've been doing. This is the Variety Game channel, and I cannot wait to get into more. I will catch everybody soon.